I have an old 60 amp box with a main on one side and a range, 3-wire, circuit on the other. There is only a couple of lights hooked up to this panel. I want to add two 240 volts electric baseboard heaters rated at less than 9 amps each. Can I connect these to this range circuit?
Hello. My name is. I will be happy to assist you with your electrical question. My goal is to exceed your expectations on JustAnswer. 1. Unfortunately, the range and baseboard heaters need to reside on their own dedicated circuits. 2. The National Electrical Code requires that electric heaters be sized to 125% of the amperage rating. The Model 8F 2008 generates 2000 watts of heat each. Thus applying Watt's law where I equals PE, solve for I. 2240 equals 833 amps. Then apply the 1.25 multiplier. 8.33 by 1.25 equals 1041 amps. Round up to the next available trade size fuse or circuit breaker. You would require either a dedicated 15 amp circuit for each heater, or if you combine both of them on the same circuit, then a 30 amp circuit would be required. 3. If connecting the baseboard heaters to the range circuit, that would be a code violation since the baseboard heaters would be overfused by the range circuit. Most likely the range circuit is either a 40 or 50 amp circuit. Also, if running the range and the baseboard heaters simultaneously, a high probability that the circuit will overload. Hope this helps. If you have any additional questions, let me know and I'll be glad to answer them for you. Otherwise, don't forget to rate me before you log off. The next time you have an electrical question, you can also request for me at http://www.justanswer.com/home-improvement/expert your electrician. Thanks. Kevin.
There is no range connected because there is a gas range instead. Can I create another circuit box off the range circuit that has two 15 amp breakers on it? I don't know if such a box exists, but just wondering if that's possible.
1. What is the size of the service to the home? Do you only have an older style 60 amp fuse box, or do you have a 100 amp or 200 amp service panel? Need to know what the main fuse or main breaker is sized at. 2. Or is the 60 amp panel a sub panel that is fed from your main electrical panel? 3. How many amps is the range circuit?
It's the only panel, and it has the diagram below on the inside. It is a garage apartment with one bedroom. There are only 4 lights connected to it with about 6 outlets. These are connected to the bottom fuse connections on the left.
Thank you for the confirmation, Phil. 1. That size panel is a 60 amp main cartridge fuse box. 2. The individual screw and fuses located on the bottom are for the various 120 volt receptacles and lighting. 3. The main cartridge fuse on the left is the 60 amp main fuse that protects the entire box. The pullout cartridge fuse located on the right is for the old range circuit. Since the 240 volt circuit is no longer in use, you can swap out the 2 cartridge fuses located in the range pullout and install 2 30 amp fuses and wire this to the 2 baseboard heaters. The 2 baseboard heaters would then be wired in parallel and protected by the 30 amp fuse circuit. The branch circuit wires for the baseboard heaters will need to be a minimum of 10 AWG copper. Hope this helps. If you have any additional questions, let me know and I'll be glad to answer them for you. Otherwise, don't forget to rate me before you log off. The next time you have an electrical question, you can also request for me at http://www.justanswer.com/home-improvement/expert your electrician. Thanks. Kevin.
Thanks, Kevin. I am a little confused though. Is there any way to give me a diagram of what this looks like? I'm assuming after I change the 2 cartridges to 30 amp each, I then connect all 3 wires to the range circuit at the top right of the panel with 10 AWG copper and all the way to the heaters, or can I go 12 AWG copper from the heaters to a junction that is close to the panel and connected via 10 AWG copper?
1. The heaters require 2 hot conductors and 1 equipment grounding conductor. They do not require a neutral conductor since the heaters are 240 volts. 2. Take a look at the existing wire size on the range circuit pullout. Most likely they are 8 AWG copper conductors. You can still reuse that portion of the existing range circuit conductors and then reduce down to 10 AWG copper for the final splice connections to the heaters. 3. I will draw up a sketch for you and will post here on another reply. Give me around 15 minutes or so.
Okay, there is no existing range wiring, so if I purchase 10 to 3 wire and attach the white wire to the ground, top right wire for the range on the panel diagram, and the red and black to the hot, top right second 2 wires for the range on the panel diagram, and run this to a heater attaching the white wire as the ground to the heater itself and the red and black to the thermostat switch, and then run another 10 to 3 wire from that heater's connections to the other heater, it should be good.
1. Shown below is the diagram. 2. You don't need 10/3. You only need 10/2 Romex. 10/2 Romex will have 1 black insulated wire, 1 white insulated wire and 1 bare copper ground. Make sure that you re-identify the white wire at each end with black electrical tape since it is now a hot conductor and not a neutral conductor. The black and the white will be your 2 hots making up the 240 volt circuit. Prior to making the final connections at the pullout fuse, make sure that you pull out the 60 amp main cartridge fuse located on the upper left side of the panel to kill power. Have a flashlight ready and an assistant to help you as you will be in the dark. The 60 amp main will disconnect all power. Once completed with the terminations, you can restore power. 3. White is never used as a ground wire. Only bare copper, green or striped yellow/green are allowed as an equipment grounding conductor. Hope this helps. If you have any additional questions, let me know and I'll be glad to answer them for you. Otherwise, don't forget to rate me before you log off. The next time you have an electrical question, you can also request for me at http://www.justanswer.com/home-improvement/expert your electrician. Thanks. Kevin.
Thank you very much. The diagram is perfect.
Phil. Thank you for the excellent service rating. Much appreciated. If you have any other questions, just let me know. No problem, glad to assist. Take care and have a great weekend. Thanks. Kevin.
If you have a home improvement or appliance question and want to chat with an expert now, visit JustAnswer.com/YTHI.